This is the Almost Famous Radio podcast with your host, Jeffy McJefferson. Let's go.
And welcome to the Almost Famous Radio podcast. Jeffy McJefferson here in the humble backyard studio with El Dude and the Ricka. What's up, guys? And by the way, thank you for listening, everybody. But go ahead. What's up, guys?
Not much, man. Not much. Happy to be here, man.
Let's go around the table. Oh, it's easy round table because Ricker bought some beer. So what you got?
He's making me drink this Ninkasi Total Domination. And it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's good.
You're an OU fan. You should be all the more excited because it's right around the corner from
No,
the
that's
stadium.
you. That's they get a little testy.
UO
Yeah, they get a
is
little
not-
testy when you call them OU.
Sorry, my
Don't you?
bad.
Right? Hell, dude, you get testy when they call them OU.
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
kind of like the Ohio State bitches that say the Ohio State.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
subhuman.
are- we
We're
the
talking
you.
about human beings.
And plus, considering that the real OU resides in Middle America.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't want to do that to them. And that's U of O. And they do that O thing with their hands.
Hey. We're doing Made in Oregon.
Made in Oregon.
Yes, we're doing Made Nordic.
We are
Oregon.
right now.
Yeah,
We got.
absolutely.
I got the same thing, and actually, this is real good beer. And then we'll be able to test that, change out because we got some Mac and Jacks in there for him because that's part of his NIL deal.
Yes.
Right, because he asked for more in his contract, and
He
guess
did.
what? He got it.
You want
He
to
got it.
You want to explain that to everybody, dude, with your NIL deal here at the show?
Well, I want to thank God. I want to thank. I'm just so humbled by the generous offer by Almost Famous Radio podcast. Excuse my pronunciation there, but no, it's a dream come true. I mean, I had a couple other offers. I won't go into detail, but
Please don't.
I'm so proud to be a part of this broadcast, and I'm so proud to finally getting paid for my name, image, and likeness, and I just intend to just represent the almost famous
Poorly represent.
radio podcast, and hope to fix my pronunciation difficulties right now. I'm just so
That's
emotional.
okay. You're so emotional. And
I'm
happy.
so emotional.
and happy about it. That's why. Yeah.
And I just look forward to performing at a high level for such a prestigious outfit. And gosh dang, I mean the uniforms are amazing. The just the facilities. The facilities are fucking top notch. And I just can't be more proud.
I'm so happy about that. Ricker, isn't that cool?
Yeah. It's the best thing ever.
It is.
There's no
unbelievable.
portal entering with this guy.
He did great.
He's not
Yeah.
entering the portal. He's all in
I'm
100%.
Good, yeah.
I'm 100% committed.
Committed.
I'm gonna give everything, everything I got in my body to, and there's a lot of it to give, and gosh, I'm humbled. I'm humbled, so humble.
Any charities you're going to donate to now that you have this massive NIL deal?
Massive.
Yeah.
I might be able to, donate a couple ounces
Okay.
Here's to my homies.
of the Mac and Jack,
Sure.
of my Mac and Jack NIL deal. I'll definitely share.
Would you ever think about making somebody a grilled cheese sandwich?
No.
Okay,
no.
good. Okay, that's fine.
Jeff, seriously,
Yeah.
Jeff, I will give back to the community. I promise to help the community in any way I can. And, if someday I can get nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, God.
I'm sure.
Someday, I hope, I'm just going to give back to the community. I don't need any thanks for that. I don't need to put my name on it. I do things that a lot of people don't know.
And we're not going to mention them because that's near and dear to your heart.
Exactly. I do it. I don't do it for the fame or for the
glory.
anything or the glory or, I just do it because it's necessary in our community to give back.
Wow. What a guy.
That was awesome.
That's amazing.
I'm going to have to wipe.
Yeah.
Right here.
The tears.
Yeah. It's
not the ass.
No,
The tears.
not the ass, just the tears.
Wow. Man, that's amazing.
Wow.
Man, they'll do.
I know.
You.
I know. Also that
Thank you,
that I am the I did a little research and found out that I am the highest paid, NIL representative from this podcast.
You are?
Absolutely, you are.
That's something that I never expected.
You know what the cool thing is that
never.
Ricker's sitting right next to you, and it doesn't bother him
No.
that you're the highest paid.
No.
He's a team. He's a team player.
It takes a team,
Yeah.
and
You're a leader, dude. You're a leader.
Later.
If the portal comes calling for Ricker, I will do everything I can, maybe to take less in the future.
You're this show's Tom Brady.
Well,
Absolutely.
to win Super Bowls is all it's about, and to be the best that we can be, I will take a little less. I will.
Wow.
This is pure going for the gold with a national championship.
This guy,
That's all he wants.
Right.
That's all he wants. He's just he's a humble guy, and he just wants the trophy.
Yeah. I can't be all pro without my blockers, without those bulldozers up front.
Yeah.
Look
at this.
Making holes for me. True. So I'll give back in any way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, okay. We wanted to get that out of the way first because
right. We had to get it out of the way.
We that was a long time coming, and luckily everybody got a chance to hear that, and hopefully you can listen to the rest of this show. I mean, if you have Kleenex, that would have been a great time to use it. So
yeah.
So anyway, we got a Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, they told us.
And we got the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the referees.
Oh, yeah. Kansas City Chiefs plus the referees. And we have the Elgses.
Right. Also known as
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Elgses.
Yeah.
Anybody got any thoughts on this thing? And I got some referee thoughts, and I'll tell you those here in just a little bit. But or not the referees. I'm talking total officiating crew.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I think
anybody go. Yeah, L Dude.
L Dude needs to go first.
Highest paid dude ever.
I'm going to defer. I really think that Ricker's the aficionado on this topic. I think that he needs to go first, just because his knowledge is so in depth. And,
you know what? That's so gracious of this guy, man. He's the highest paid dude, and he's going to defer, and he's going
to defer the kick.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
that's awesome. Okay,
man.
I'll just go first.
Goodness sake!
Again, it's the normal. I hope for the Eagles because I don't like the Chiefs, but let's see how the officiating goes. And I don't mean the officiating on the commercials. I could give a shit. I'm talking about in the game, the normal freaking 3 calls that make a difference in the game for the Chiefs.
Happens.
Every time. Every game we've watched this year, 3 calls make the game.
You know
for
what
them.
sucks, L Dude, if you don't mind, and thank you for letting me host this show. since you're, so, prestigious and shit. But it is, I've never been a referee bitcher. I didn't ever bitch. I'm like, hey, you know what, scoreboard and stuff like that. So are you on this officials thing as well?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jeffy McJ here with a reminder you can check out the cast with pictures and bios on our website. It's going to be at afradiopodcast.buzzsprout.com. Believe it or not, you can send us fan mail there too. You can also stay updated on our Almost Famous Radio podcast page on Facebook. And if you really want to send us the good, the bad, the ugly, also topics you would love us to hit on, we have our email at almostfamousradiopodcast@gmail.com. Let's get back to the show.
I mean, overall, yes, I am. I mean, I am so excited. I mean, as a football fan, this is the best weekend of the year. We get the culmination of the Super Bowl. No matter who you root for, tomorrow is going to be just an incredible day for any football fan. But
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
But to your point, just to get to your point, there's a lot of people that have said that I've got special breaks in my life, and I don't know, the refs have been good to me.
Sure.
They've just been in my favor, and I don't know how that happens. It just happens. I'm just so fortunate to have so much success due to the refs. I don't really know a whole lot to say other than, I just hope
the officiating crew has been kind to you and the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, when they continue to be kind to the Chiefs, that they don't forget about, the little people like me in the world, we still need those breaks. Yeah, I mean,
so you're basically back in the Chiefs, and since we need, you need the breaks, and we all need the breaks, the little people need the breaks, and all the people need the breaks in life that officiating crews do provide the Chiefs for.
Yeah, I mean, the downtrodden in the world need help, and they get where they get because of the underlying help. The Seattle Seahawks call it the 12th man. I just think the 15 Chiefs, 16 Chiefs, the 11 on the field,
however many,
the 11 on the field, and the five zebras,
right?
Yeah, they couldn't do it without the 16 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
So it's a team effort, is what you're saying. It's just a team effort, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love when the NFL tries to tell us it's not that. Just to dive just a little bit into politics. In the last election, a lot of people said that this and that, and we as Americans saw it with our own eyes. They can paint a picture. The other side can paint a picture of what it, really was like. But we saw it as Americans when we, bought groceries, when we paid for all kinds of things that the high inflation and stuff. And I'm sorry, the NFL's the same way.
With their Lord and Savior.
We see it with our own eyes.
Patty.
I mean, they can deny it all they want, but we see it with our own eyes.
Yeah, I thought thought that's where you were going, and it's a very good point.
I think it's a great comparison.
Yeah, because
St. Patty is amongst.
St. Patty.
Yeah. That's it.
And this
And
one-
it's coming up on St. Patty's Day,
And
you know,
hard,
and you know the officials will help.
how is he going to handle it if they
Canonize him.
lose this close to St. Patty's Day?
Ooh, whoa!
I don't know,
question.
Ricker. You got an idea? Well, how is he going to figure it out?
I'm going to assume there's going to be Chiefs fans that are rioting in the street saying it was rigged against them.
You think there'll be some public hangings if the Chiefs lose with this officiating crew and you'll never see them again in your life? No, not even public hangings. They're just abductions. They're going to call on like people that, abduct these guys and say, hey, say goodbye to your wives, your family, your friends. You're out.
Is there still a mob in Kansas City?
I don't know.
I don't either. It's a good question.
What do you think, old dude?
Here we go. We're skating on it right here. Thin
It's like,
ice, baby.
Oh. All right, you gave me the mic. I'm going.
I think the NFL's a fucking cartel.
Wow. I think you're right.
I think that they are scared. I think the refs they know what they're instructed to do, and their families are getting held hostage, kidnapped, tortured,
Beaten. Raped, pillaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And of course we're talking figuratively.
Are we?
Well, I don't think it's real. Excuse me. I can't.
No, I know.
I can't go all the way
if
to real.
If anybody wants to, challenge us on that, go ahead. But
Well, let's just say they're acting like it.
sure.
It's gosh, it's so obvious. So fucking obvious that I don't know what it is, but there is something going on.
Let's go back to like quarterbacks that's won 2 Super Bowls in a row. Okay, so you got Bart Starr, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Couldn't win the third.
Greasy.
I think Montana.
Didn't Greasy?
Well, I don't know if Greasy
72 and 73,
they didn't-
right?
No,
They didn't win 2 in a row.
No, they never won 2 in a row, going for 3.
Brady, he never won a third.
Yep.
Montana never won a third. They've won back to back. So what right does this guy have to do it? We're talking about Lord and Savior Patrick
St.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
St. Patty.
St.
Patrick.
Patty. Yeah.
So you think are they going to like break this cycle? Because it seems to me like the NFL's so rigged. Looking back at everything, to me, it's bullshit because with the Montanas and everybody else that could have won 3-peats and stuff, Aikman,
Right?
okay, and stuff like that. Do they not want? I mean, they're not going to want a 3-peat. The Lakers in basketball, they didn't do a 3-peat. They had 3-peats in basketball since way back in then. We'll get into basketball later. But anyway, so do you think that the NFL really wants a 3-peat right now?
No.
Considering
because
that they had all these great quarterbacks in the past that could have won a 3-peat and they didn't do it.
well, here's my question. Do they really want a 3-peat after this season and everybody waking up to the fact that the officiating has been totally on the side of the Chiefs?
And that's another story.
I
right there.
I think that's a huge thing. And if they let a 3-peat, and again, let a 3-peat happen. If it's a fair game and the officiating doesn't have a hand in it, so be it. But I don't know. I just think that this whole idea of them having a 3-peat with the season that they've had and all the officiating that's gone their way, I just think that it's horseshit.
Well, I think personally that we're so fortunate to have a Super Bowl indoors. because those refs were just too cold. They were just too cold, in Kansas City. It's you can't blame it on them, I mean,
That'll give them faster flag hands.
Yeah, they got so cold they had to move really fast and pull the flag out.
Yep.
You just can't, and that won't happen, because it's going to be 70 degrees in the.
There's going to be no
Superdome.
brain freeze
In the Superdome. I'm going to call it the Superdome. I don't care what sponsor. Fucking
No, it is the Superdome.
It's the Superdome.
It's always
Still
going to
Superdome.
be. Yeah.
Well,
I think it's Mercedes-Benz
it'll always be the
Superdome or whatever.
Superdome.
Yeah.
Me, I don't.
But it's a Superdome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 70 degrees, and gosh, I'm hoping the referees won't get too cold and throw the flag.
Yeah. I hope not. Yeah. I mean, because what I have, have you watching Chiefs games, the tackles on the O-line leave about 30 seconds before the freaking
4
ball
minutes
snack.
before.
Yeah. So, and they seem to be the only ones that
Now
get
wait,
away
wait,
with that
wait,
shit.
Jeff. I mean, the offensive line, that's called a drop step.
Right.
It's you drop step into pass formation. Pass protection.
Sure.
It's called a drop step. 1.5 is legal.
A week before?
Yeah.
Before the
a
snap.
week before. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get to 2 drop steps before the ball snapped, they might have to throw a flag.
I've seen more moves from John Travolta on Saturday night or whatever the fuck that movie was.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Or I've seen less moves actually from him.
Out of him than
these guys
O-line.
drop stepping.
Well, to get back to the game,
here's the
just to make it
finger
fair,
Drop stepping.
we need to get really back to the game with that Philadelphia defensive line.
Sure.
You gotta let the Chiefs offensive line have at least 1.5 drop steps before the ball snapped, because it wouldn't be fair if it was like no advantage like that, because it just wouldn't be fair.
You got to give it what our boss likes to call one unga dunga. That's what you get. One unga dunga is probably about that's it. Dink.
And these
Just
guys
enough.
got it. Yeah. I mean,
They're gonna get it.
You watch it. I've watched it for the last, I don't know how many years that these guys are
But this
releasing
year
off
has
the line.
But this year has been beyond the scope of normal. I mean, they've gotten away with it for a long time, but this year has been, so in the bag for them on everything.
Every place I look and stuff like that, I mean, except for in the metropolitan Kansas City area,
We got robbed.
everybody is like, probably for like, okay, let's go back to the old rules where you can just, go Dick Buckus on the fucking quarterback.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I mean, you think, is this going to come to this? Yeah, whether you breathe on a quarterback and he can't. I understand that you want to keep these guys in the game and stuff like that. And the quarterbacks are the face of the league. Big deal. They're football players. Hey, you know what? If a punter took a hit like that, they wouldn't give 2 shits.
Nope.
But then again, punters get paid less. I know that, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, you're coming from an altruistic point of view where you're looking at the overall
Smart.
best things. Altruistic and smart. Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, yes, we have to protect the most important in the game, but we don't have to overprotect them. That's the problem. It's just the 17 calls, the flop on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to eliminate that from the NBA.
Who's protecting the running back? If they're going outside and they're making a long run and then they get run out of bounds and then they happen to run into Andy Reid and his snot mustache. Who's protecting those guys? Nobody.
That could be a lifelong injury
Yeah.
right there.
I mean, nobody's protecting that shit, are they?
No.
No. I don't know, man. That's just bullshit to me. Well, so anybody, okay, so your picks for the bowl, Dude.
I have to go first, didn't we?
Okay.
I'll go first. I don't give a shit. It's
Go
going to
for
be
it.
the Chiefs. I don't want it. I hate it, but I just think I just think that they're going to get the calls. Go
How
their
about
way.
the MVP?
It's going to be St. Patty.
Okay. You want me to go next, or you go next?
You go. We haven't heard yours yet.
I'm gonna pick the Elksess.
Okay.
And I'm going. MVP is going to be Saquon, and I think that Saquon.
I love that.
And I really hope that happens. I'm probably jinxing them like I jinxed the fucking Bills. But and plus the fact that Jalen Hurts, University of Oklahoma quarterback. Fuck you, Alabama guys. You're the one that kicked him out, so don't claim him. Anyway, University of Oklahoma quarterback. That'd be kind of nice to see him get a Super Bowl trophy.
Saquon's the bigger deal,
Saquon
though. All those years freaking
in jail
in jail. Exactly.
for not committing the murder that they said
Should have
he did.
happened. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
All right. We got to dig deep here. We got to.
Do we?
Yeah. This is. I honestly believe that this might be one of the most competitive Super Bowls we've seen in a long time, and
They've had some competitive Super
And
Bowls.
granted, last year went into overtime.
There hasn't really been a blowout in a while, has there?
No,
by the way,
there hasn't. But I truly believe a couple of things. I think that this Super Bowl particularly is going to come down to those big dudes on the offensive line, the big dudes on the defensive line, the bulldozers, the people that don't get all the fame.
sure.
I think the trenches are going to be huge in this game. I think that it's going to come down to, can Philadelphia's defensive line get pressure on Patrick Mahomes? And can
Keep him in the pocket.
And can the Cincinnati defense?
Well, we're talking about Philadelphia, not Cincinnati.
Did I say Cincinnati?
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. We'll go with the Eagles this time.
No, I'm sorry. And
Because it's hard to tell the difference between an eagle and a Bengal tiger. But go ahead.
oh, wow! I still got a brain fart there.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it's okay. So I think that the Kansas City defense is going to have to step up in a very potent Philadelphia offense, and I believe that the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles will prevail over
Wear
the
'em
defensive
down?
line. But I do think it's in the trenches. I think it's
gonna be.
it's
think
which
so, too.
I'll
which
agree with that.
offensive defensive line, and therefore I think that Saquon's going to run for 150-ish.
Wow.
Yep. Not heard of in the Super Bowl.
No, but I mean, just
very
like, wow.
much.
Because
So that's one prediction. I think that
considering all the holding penalties, it's going to call a lot of runs back.
regardless,
so that's pretty good.
regardless
Yeah.
of the refs,
So really, he'll run
influence.
for like 378 yards, but with all
He'll
the
get
with all the
150
holding
credit.
or any kind of illegal motions and shit like that penalties. So
Right.
he'll run for 150.
Hey, when we're making predictions, I can't.
No,
predict
it's all good.
When we're making predictions, we have to assume the refs are going to be
Yeah, this is all things being equal.
equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe strongly that if Philadelphia can score 25 points, they will win. I think if they don't score 25 points, they will lose. Okay, so how does that then be articulated towards my pick? Is I believe in a low-scoring game, nobody's going to beat the Chiefs. If it gets a little higher scoring, I think Philadelphia has a chance. I think their defense is going to hold the Chiefs' offense, and I do pick the Philadelphia Eagles to win.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, because
But they have
that's
to
good.
score. They have to score.
Well, yeah.
If they score 15 points, that means that Patrick Mahomes is going to have a last-minute drive.
Absolutely.
And a Harrison Butker field goal and shit like that. Yeah.
If the Chiefs are within one score and they get a chance to do that last 2-minute drive or whatever in the Super Bowl, I have to take the Chiefs.
See, that's the key. Okay, so Philly has to stay at least 10 points ahead.
They have to
They
score.
have
with less than 2 minutes. And, it's going to be tough with the officiating.
It is.
But, and luckily, the kickoffs suck this year. So hopefully they'll do something about that. That's another time.
Yeah,
But-
that's another.
But,
That's another.
you got to declare for the onside kick. And hopefully you won't get royally screwed like Oklahoma did at Autzen Stadium several years ago. But,
Yeah, I do have to just do a little bit of just an addition to this. I think that the pundits out there that are saying this is going to be a high scoring game, I don't know if they know football. I really want to go out on a limb here and say that I believe that this is not going to be a high scoring football game. I cannot stress enough that these two defenses are really good.
they are really good. And you know what? They're way better than the offenses.
Exactly. Exactly.
You got Mahomes on one side, and then you got Saquon on the other side, and the defenses have actually won these guys a lot of games this year.
Yeah, and so in a low-scoring game, I mean, how can you go against the Chiefs? I mean,
I can just because I think that Philadelphia's defense is that good.
It gets ugly when you're up by 2 and with 2.5 minutes to go. It gets ugly if Patrick has the ball.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right about that. But I think that if the officiating stays
fair,
fair,
sort of fair.
I think the Eagles have that. That running game is so good, and the Chiefs don't have that. They don't have that level of running game.
I almost think that this year, I mean, it's like everybody's thinking that the NFL's rigged for the Chiefs, right? A lot of people are. I mean, you see it all over the place, right?
I already said it.
No,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm saying, I know you did, and so, but it's all over the place. So if NFL really wants to save face,
Right.
and if it really is quote unquote rigged, then this should be a Philadelphia victory,
Absolutely. I think that,
and that sucks.
well,
Well, it should be an honest call playing game as far as the officiating.
I think they have to go out of their way to do this, to do it right. I don't think that after this game, if there's a bias with the refs, the NFL is going to have a really big problem. I mean, I really do think. I really think that 25-point threshold is huge. I think that if the Philly 3 years ago when Tampa Bay beat the Chiefs, they did it by putting so much pressure on Patrick Mahomes and sacking him multiple times. If there's ever a defense that could actually replicate what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did, it's this Philly defense. So that's why I think the 25-point thing is so important, that the Chiefs are going to score points. They're
But they're
going to
not
get
that prolific of
they're
an
going to
offense
get
this
in
year.
up
Not
to that
this year.
17-point range. They're going to get up to that 20-point range. If you can hold them to that and score over 25, Mr. Obvious says you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really comes down to that front four of Philadelphia being able to put so much pressure on that offensive line so that they can have 7, which is, the nickel or dime package, depending on how they decide to do it. they can have 7 people in the second and third level of that defense protecting them against, the big play.
I don't think that they even need to need to put that many people back. There's no chief receiver that's scary.
No,
Not this year. No.
And this year the front four of Philadelphia have
they've been able to
put a lot of pressure. But when did the Chiefs struggle? They struggled when they get that pressure up front, but not from blitzing pressure.
You know what they did? The way they handled Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
In the championship game, Philly.
Yep.
That probably should be the game. I would think, because they handled that guy. They handled him.
Yeah, but they did it. They have to do it with their front four. That's so
and
important.
they did it with the front four.
Yeah,
and then,
like you said,
Fangio will he'll do a little designer blitz every now and then and stuff like that. He does. He's a great defensive coordinator.
Yes,
but he's not going to go crazy with freaking blitz.
Yeah. If he does get blitz crazy, Patrick will beat him.
He's not going to get blitz crazy.
He will.
He's going to throw in, exotic blitzes every now and then and shit like that. He'll rush 4. Just because when I watched that game against the Redskins,
right,
he did the same thing.
Yeah,
he and all of a sudden, man, he frazzled the kid. And I know that Pat Mahomes is not a kid, but you still can't get away from that shit.
But the frazzling came from the front four.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. As soon as you add that 5th, 6th, 7th rusher, Patrick will beat
There's
that.
somebody open.
Patrick will beat that because of the talents of the wide receivers and his talent
I don't agree with
as
that.
a quarterback.
If you can rush the front 4 and put pressure on him with the front 4, if you do an exotic blitz or 2 every now and then, you're gonna find him 15 yards back from the line of scrimmage.
Right. But if you're trying to get to him with 7,
you're not going to run 7 at him.
I know, but if you're blitzing all the time,
that's what I'm saying. No blitzes.
I know, but if you do to try and put pressure on him, then you're going to get what you get.
Yeah,
and there's going to be somebody open that he's going to hit.
The occasional 5th and 6th rusher
is okay.
It is because it keeps them off script. It keeps them thinking about
That's
what's
what I
coming.
was talking about.
But basically, down after down after down, if they can put pressure with those front 4 and drop 7, that's their best chance.
It's got to stop the run first. Honestly, both teams have to stop the run first.
Absolutely. That
So
Chiefs are going to have to do it.
That's going to be.
I am a big the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles is one of the best that's ever been assembled in the Super Bowl.
Probably because of Lane Johnson.
I don't think you're going to be able to stop them, and that's another reason why I think the Eagles might win is that they can control the ball enough minutes to limit maybe 1 or 2 possessions by the Chiefs. In those 1 or 2 less possessions,
less scoring opportunities,
enables them to not get to that 24 and higher. Point differential.
I think that's a good point.
So we're all for the Elks. We all think the Elks are going to win this.
Yeah,
I'm wanting to, but I'm still on the bias of the referees making a difference.
Okay,
I just am.
So MVP this year was Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody agree with that, or disagree with that?
No, I agree with it.
I'm not opposed to either him or Lamar.
I'm a little bit opposed to both of them, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you'd have to.
You going with Saquon?
I'm going with Saquon.
You need to bring that argument to me because I think those were the top 2 runners, except for maybe if you add Saquon.
Yeah, I'm just saying that what Saquon did for MVP should be what you did for your team, and that's what they're saying this year about Josh Allen. Even though Lamar had the better stats. Same with last year, and stuff like that with Lamar. But you bring Saquon in, and he totally changed the dynamic of this team, and he ran for 2,000 yards. I just don't know how you can leave that off the board. That's all. I don't want to get into a whole big debate about the MVP.
I love your argument, but I think that tomorrow makes a difference.
But it's a regular season.
I get it. I get it. But if you want to look at it apples to apples, it has to go all the way to the end.
Yeah, but
it does. If he makes a difference, if he makes a difference tomorrow, I don't think
he's made a difference all year.
He has, but again, I think that the MVP voting should not take place before the Super Bowl. I just don't.
Why? It's a regular season award.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I mean,
I think it's a whole,
there's a whole bunch of guys that are not going to be in the playoff or the Super Bowl.
Who gives a shit? It should be a full season worth of
it is a full season. You can't.
I'm going to disagree, Ricker, because all 32 teams play 17 games.
Yeah,
that is what the awards are given upon. I understand totally. I understand totally that the playoffs are important and the Super Bowl is important, and what you do in the playoffs and what you do in the Super Bowl is it can add to your case for winning the awards, but you have to compare apples to apples, and you have to do the 17 games. You have to do the regular season.
No, I get it. I get it, but I don't think that should be the metric that it's based off of. I just don't. I think that it should be the full season end to end.
It's a fair argument. It is. It is.
I get where you're coming from because you're excluding a bunch of players.
You're excluding a shitload of players.
I get it, but the most valuable player should be the most valuable player season ending.
But only 14 of the 32 teams make the playoffs.
I totally get your argument, but I still think that the whole thing should be end to end. Who brought his team the furthest? And if it means that they brought them the Super Bowl win or even didn't, it should still include those playoff games. I just do. I don't think you can exclude that part of the season. You're excluding the whole postseason of football.
Yeah.
I think that's horseshit.
No. It's just the reason it's not is like El Dude said. It's a regular season.
I get it.
Now wait. No, hang on, man. So if you got if you got like Josh Allen wins it. So is Josh Allen ineligible now because he didn't make the Super Bowl? So it should be either Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts
or
Saquon.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I get that. I
disqualified everybody.
What if you had a 1-16 team that had a player that was so outstanding that just blew everybody away, and that person won? Because he was so much, he brought so much to his team.
They did this year, not a 1-16, but Joe Burrow had better.
Right.
He had
stats.
But is he really an MVP? Or do you look at it like Josh Allen, who lost Saquon Diggs, who lost Gabe Davis, who lost all this stuff, and then he came back and did what he did. Okay, during the regular season. I don't think you can include postseason on an MVP award.
Okay.
I don't like the MVP award anyway.
I don't like it because of the fact that
I think the whole thing is horseshit anyway. It's a prom queen show or whatever, beauty.
It's a freaking the Academy Awards. It's how you freaking how you freaking market yourself.
Yeah.
But I still think that you can't exclude the postseason and that performance from the whole thing. I don't care if it excludes a bunch of players.
But
I don't really care.
That's the requirements of the MVP award. It's a regular season award.
I get it, but why should it have to? But if you are talking about the most valuable player, why should it not include the entire season? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be what it is. I'm just saying that my thought is it should include the postseason and who the most valuable player during the entire season is. That's it. If it doesn't include that,
just say Jared Goff has a freaking the outstanding season that he did.
Right.
And then they get bounced the first round from the Redskins.
Which they did.
And they did. So you're saying that Jared Goff's ineligible?
No.
Because no. You're talking about the playoffs. You got to go all the way through the playoffs. You can't stop at one game because you have that game and you have this game and you have the divisional, you have the championship game, and then you have the Super Bowl. You can't exclude anything. That's cherry picking, dude. You know that.
I get it. I just I have my thought on it. We'll just
okay.
move on.
We'll
move on.
Okay. I'm just letting you know.
No, your opinion is it matters a lot. It's we definitely take it.
There's NIL money right there.
Oh, there you go.
We
It's done. It's paid. Holy shit, man.
Anyway, but yeah.
There may be food involved.
So anyway,
No, your opinion is valid, Ricker. Absolutely. And it's a debate that's been going on for all of time.
But do you know what? They do have a win. They do have an award for what you're talking about, and it's called All Pro. Not Pro Bowl.
I know.
The All Pro is way different from Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because actually, Lamar Jackson won All Pro.
All Pro just has 11 offense and 11 defense
that's
players. It's it.
Yeah.
There's only one quarterback. There's only one
running back, one.
Yeah,
well, there's a couple
tight end, 11
one.
players on each side, and that's it. So that's much more stringent award, and I think that's maybe what you might be more interested in than MVP.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
How about that Pro Bowl anyway? We're talking about Pro Bowl. Go ahead, L dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's go. Let's ask Ricker the question then.
Sure.
And all of his opinions are valid. Who do you think should have won MVP?
I at this point, I think that Saquon.
Okay.
I think he made the most difference in his team over the course of the season.
I agree with you. That's what
I just
there's a lot of people that say that the MVP award is quarterback only.
Right. And I think that's horseshit.
That's what you're saying. I think that's horseshit as well.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. I agree, but Saquon did get, offensive player of the year. So he did get, the highest award he could get other than MVP.
Other than MVP.
Or all. Was he All Pro? Probably.
I mean, you guys, the reason we're on a podcast is because we have our own opinions. The reason why we're on a podcast is because we can articulate our own opinions. So your opinion is 100%, worthy and all that. I'm
not saying that it's bullshit.
No.
No, I didn't say you were.
No, I know you didn't, but I'm just saying. But go ahead, LD.
But I think that being a running back at a certain high level in my past, Saquon had a great year. Yes. But you cannot compare 14 games, 16 games, and 17 games. The whole record books, when in the NFL, should have asterisks. I'm sorry. I'm a big proponent of this. Saquon got 2,000 yards, but he did it in 17 games. It's the most games in one season ever played.
How many games do they play in the season?
17.
He didn't play the 17th game.
They held him back because of reasons.
Injury.
Well, to be your best, you can't blame him for holding him back because of the Super Bowl.
If he played in that 17th game and then broke Eric Dickerson's record, then would there be would there be a way more debate about MVP?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that down. Everybody warm?
Well, yes, I'm with you. In my opinion, no, but I think in your opinion, yes. I mean, if you break the all-time rushing record, to some people that is MVP. Boom. It's you deserve it. You win it and everything else. If you do it in 3 more games than somebody did it in the past, I'm sorry. I don't. I mean, it's. I mean, we can talk about records. That's a whole nother topic. There's 100 records in baseball that Babe Ruth played 154 games. Now they play 162. I mean, it's the home run records. I'm really a stickler for the great of the greatest. And the great of the greatest is, what do you do per game average? Your per game average is the only way to really compare apples to apples.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. It's how I believe. I'm so strongly believing in that. I love the hype and the leagues promoting their records, and in the home run race in baseball when they get up in the 50s. I'm all for them promoting their product. Don't get me wrong. I want all sports to be as popular as they could possibly be. And I don't have any animosity towards them promoting certain people gonna break certain records. But when you don't do it in the same amount of games, to me, it has to have an asterisk. I'm sorry.
Okay. I agree with that. Okay. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back. We have a few things I want to get on to, and you guys do too. You've seen the rundown. And because I don't want to go like real long, because this can go forever.
Forever.
So we will be right back.
Am I cool? But I'm very passionate about it as well.
Good. And we're back. Real quick, okay, we got all that stuff done with the MVP and all that kind of good shit. I saw a guy or two, or could have been a chick or two, on the internet, saying that let's end this hideous as shit Pro Bowl games and all that stupidity and that dog shit that they do. How about playing one more game? Okay, so because these two teams were planning on playing one more game, the loser of the NFC and AFC championship game play like a third place type game instead of the Pro Bowl.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm not against it at all. The whole Pro Bowl thing is a joke. I don't think that the rating. I mean, I know for a fact that the ratings weren't that good.
Why would they be?
Yeah, I think the tweaking of it all. You could do away with the whole weekend and just name the All-Pro team. I mean,
or a Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl is what's so silly about the Pro Bowl is that it's played the week before the Super Bowl, so all of the players on
used to be the week after.
Used to be. And, the Super Bowl teams were so beat up that half the players that were in the Super Bowl that got Pro Bowl wouldn't play.
Well, so eventually, they always played before when they were real men.
So they moved it back to a week before, and they tried to play this game without the Super Bowl representatives. So it's always been just kind of I don't know. It's just been a second-rate offering, trying to boast that it's better than that.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I do, because it's the same thing as like the NBL Star Game, which sucks, which is always like, 186 to 185 or whatever. Because and there's nothing that baseball. I think we were talking about this. Baseball probably has the best all-star game. I do like the hockey thing what they're doing right now, but it's not like but baseball far and above, and baseball really sucks, compared to all the ratings and shit like that. But their all-star game is the only legit all-star game ever.
But it is the only sport. We can go into the minutiae of some much lower level, different sports. But it's the only sport that is a team
kite
sport.
Flying. So we're going to get into kite all-star kite flying.
No, but
Okay.
think about the game of baseball. It's a game of one-on-one in a team sport. Until the ball is hit, it's one-on-one. Pitcher, hitter.
Yeah.
Until something happens in that sport, a stolen base, it's player on player. So you've got a team sport, you've got an individual sport wrapped in a team sport with baseball, and that's why the All-Star game works.
It's real. That's why it's real. And that's what I love about it.
The other sports, the NBA All-Star game 180 to 175 is a joke.
Right.
The old Pro Bowl used to be a joke when they actually, played football. Now they play flag football.
Right.
So no, I'm all for any kind of tweaks to the NFL Pro Bowl weekend. Your thought of the AFC, NFC loser playing for third place is completely out of the box. Love it.
It wasn't even my deal.
Love the thought.
I can't
I
take
love the
credit
thought,
for it.
Jeffrey. I
can't take credit for it. No, I heard about it. And I was telling you, I heard about it on a couple of people were talking about it. And that's
I
it.
think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's an out of the box type thing, and I would
it's
watch.
a great deal.
I would watch that game.
I would way watch it.
I might even watch it over the Super Bowl if there's Kansas City on one side.
Maybe that's what they're scared about.
Yeah, that may be.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you know what? We may actually have somebody that is knowledgeable on this.
Yes, I have been informed by the National Football League that we can't do this because we don't want to mess with Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl every year. Holy crap, man, that's crazy.
Easy. Okay. Yeah. So we got that in there. I'm not going to, tell you this guy's name or anything like that because I don't want him hurt by Chiefs Kingdom.
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
But yeah. So, okay. So that's what I want to hit on the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's fine.
This
Okay.
podcast
I think
just
that-
keeps getting better. It's just the guest hosts coming in like that. Oh my gosh, God, I'm so
Yeah, that was pretty brave of that guy.
I was so glad to get
Yeah.
to be a part of this
Isn't that crazy?
and
Yeah,
get so
crazy.
much
Cray.
Isn't that cray?
and get so much NIL money for this.
I know, man. You need. Hey, slow down. You've only got one of those NIL monies.
Last. No, he's got one more.
Per broadcast.
Oh, he's got one more.
Oh, yeah.
Per
We always
broadcast.
have
Oh,
one.
is it
Yeah,
a per
we always have one.
broadcast?
hell yes.
Oh, shit. You're freaking. You're swinging your nuts in tall cotton. That's great, man. I think you should be happy.
I'm guaranteed all 12 ounces
Whoa.
of the Mac and Jack's NIL contract.
Get brewing, Mac and Jacks. You got some freaking.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you got some stuff to put out here.
Yeah.
Take care of this NIL contract.
Last thing I want to hit real quick before we roll out. Why in the fuck does it take an executive order from a president of the United States to ban males from freaking girls and women's sports? God dang, isn't that easy?
Should be. It sure should be.
I mean, well, how could we have? Why does it come to government for this? this pisses me off, and you can tell because I'm yelling right now. I mean, the government, we have to freaking have the government do this. Girls and women work their asses off way more than dudes do, more than anybody knows, to achieve what they have and greatness in sports. And they have to deal with these motherfuckers that are guys and shit like that, feigning to be women. And man, I kind of went Mark Levin. I'm sorry to go politician on you, but what do you guys think, man? I mean, it's just, why does it take an executive order, dude, to freaking ban dudes from women's sports?
This is a very serious topic.
It's very serious.
Sports that
you see where my passion was on it, by the way. Go ahead.
When we get to talk about sports, that's a whole different thing. Sports is a hobby. Now you're talking about real people. You're talking about really important stuff in this great country that we live in. I'm so happy to be living in this country. Is this country perfect? No. When it was created, was it perfect? No.
In order to form a more perfect union, but that's the whole thing. It's never going to be perfect.
Right.
It's always evolving.
So yeah.
We created this company in 1776, and we're now in 2025. And between that time, we have evolved as a country. We've made a lot of decisions. We've made a lot of different things. There's a lot of things in the past of this country that were fixed because of strong people coming together, making the right choices, whether it's the ability to, eliminate slavery, and then to give rights to all human beings, and then to eventually give all the rights that the women didn't have when this country started. The women's movement is a huge movement that started in the early 1900s, and a lot of the things were corrected so that they could vote, so that they could be equal citizens. Our country has came from some citizens not being equal back in 1776 to now all citizens are equal. And women are just a part of that. The women's movement that was started in the 1900s and to today is a movement that was necessary. Everybody in this room, I think, believes that women should be equal. And somewhere,
yes, we do, by the way.
Somewhere in the last couple of years, this movement of gender equity and this movement of allowing people to choose their gender was allowed to happen in this country. And I think that right now we're rectifying what should have never happened in this movement, because everything about gender equity eliminated all of the progress that the women's movement in this country happened and they were able to gain. And
so you would have thought.
Correct.
Okay. And
correct.
So now go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I'm just so happy that finally common sense comes full circle and that we're not discriminating against any other creation that you think you can actually become. We're saying that you can't benefit by being one gender and basically invoke your will on another gender. The women's movement is important. Girls in sports need to be only girls in sports, and this is just common sense. It's coming back.
It's not even common sense. It's just reality.
The pendulum is swung back. Thank God. And now, this lunacy of allowing people with 17 times the strength of a woman, which is what happens via the evolution of 12 to 18-year-old man. We all know that is an advantage over women, and we are men ourselves. And for us,
manly men are we.
And for us to say that I can just say I'm a woman and go compete in women's sports is just ludicrous. And I'm so happy of what's happening now to protect our young girls. I am a father of a young daughter, and I just think that this is amazing what's happening right now. And I hope that we continue in this country to just invoke common sense into everything and to not allow our, little girls, our teenage girls, our volleyball players, all of our NCAA girls to compete against, just girls. And that's just my point. I am celebrating the executive order.
Thank you. And the thing is, we're going to bring in Ricker here because he's our top politics guy and he knows what's going on. And El Dude said it eloquently. He went way back farther than I would have went back.
Right.
But I just want you to answer this if you can. Why did it come to the government having to do this, to ban males from fucking girls and women's sports? I mean, how and why did it come to this? I know kind of why, but what the fuck?
I totally get your
outrage.
Yeah, your outrage, your irritation, your freaking your lack of understanding of how this could happen, because it actually goes against all common sense. It should never have been a question in the first place. That's the problem. All of us are thinking, all of us conservative or at least semi-conservative or even thinking human beings should never have had to had this question posed to us.
Right, and that's what bugs me.
The point is,
well, not even that. I got more, but go ahead.
Okay, but as far as I'm concerned, this question should have never been posed
ever.
It's one of those things where, all of us have basically been kind of dumbed down to the point where we had to think about it. And we should never have had to think about it. This should never have been a question that we had to ponder. It never should have happened. And these girls in girls' sports should always have been about girls, period.
Yeah,
girls.
Women, yeah.
That's
girls
it.
And women, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and to the point that, it goes to, the Olympics, which it seems really insane to me that the fact that it could have gotten to this point with women's athletics in Olympics. It's women. It's that simple. It literally is that simple, and yet somehow there's some kind of, we're having a debate about it at this point. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It's women in sports in these athletic events that they should be the only ones playing. That's it.
It's it. You're right. And I agree with that.
And there's no debate about it.
And women, like I said before, girls and women have to work their asses off twice as hard as guys to be relevant in any kind of athletics, to be, to be shown up, to show out. They do. I mean, it's a fact.
It is.
And stuff like that. So they're busting their ass. And they're like working they're getting up at 4, 5 in the morning. When I'm sleeping, if I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm taking a leak and I'm going back to bed.
Right.
So these girls and ladies are fucking waking up at this time to work out and just be the best they can be in their sport. And then they have these swinging dick bastards in their fucking locker room. Sorry, doesn't fly to me. And it really irritates the shit out of me that it comes to a fucking executive order from a president to fucking stop this shit. I just don't understand it. And that still drives me out of my mind, honestly.
Well, and I hate to say this, but if it wasn't for Riley Gaines freaking screaming from the hilltop.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
For freaking 3 years. I don't know. I think it's been 3 years, 4 years.
She shouldn't have had to.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. She shouldn't have had to.
Right.
Women, girls, sports.
It's pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Two genders, women, men. It's easy.
They have this company,
Segregated.
XXYY or whatever, and they're really good. And Riley Gaines, I think, is part of it. And I hope I didn't botch that, but they're strong advocates for this. And El Dude can tell us too, because he has a daughter in Taekwondo
collegiate,
and
high,
and then that Israel stuff that she does.
what
I forgot what it's called.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. Yeah. What's your badass? So well they could when you go into that you can take care of dudes, but and whoop the fuck out of them. But still, nonetheless, she won a national championship, right, El Dude?
Mm-hmm.
A national championship?
Yes, absolutely.
And in Taekwondo, correct?
Yes, correct.
And she had to fight chicks.
Yes.
Okay.
Only.
Right on.
Only.
Yeah, good. Because
yeah. Fortunately, my
so
daughter,
if she had to fight a dude in the national championships, I think you would have ran down the stairs, and shit like that, and probably tackled the dude, put a spear on him, and done some WWE moves on him.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't get me started, man.
Woo, Ric Flair, baby.
What happened was the Title IX was created.
That was good, by the way. Yeah.
Here are 3 dudes sitting in a podcast saying Title IX was good.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It was created to give females the opportunity to participate in all kinds of sports, regardless of whether they brought in money or not.
Right.
It made it equal for our girls. And Title IX was a humongous improvement. It was legislation that was needed, and it was legislation that not only
It was a little botched at first, but they got it right.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was never meant to allow
men into women's sports.
Men that say they're women in women's sports. So that's where it all got corrupted. That's where the common sense went out the window. They were able to use Title IX to make it happen in the NCAA sports and stuff like that. Today, that's fixed. It's because of the executive order. It reestablishes Title IX. It reestablishes the opportunity for our girls to compete against our girls in no what,
But it
no matter
fucking
what.
came down to that.
Why? I mean, your frustration is so.
And that's what pisses me off. To no
it's
end.
warranted. It's warranted, and I think in the world of politics, sometimes the pendulum swings.
This isn't even a political issue.
Well, it had to become political because our president of the United States
of the
had to fix it.
dumbasses and idiotic, stupid, asinine shit that they fucking did to these women and girls, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, and it continues. I mean, not beyond sports. It continues into men saying they're women and going into women's prisons. It's all kinds of different things. It's our taxpayer dollars going for sex changes I
couldn't care less about dudes going into women's prisons, honestly. You know, when it comes to,
but it's time.
Wait. When it comes to a comparison of dudes going into women's prison and dudes going into women's sports, it's not even close to me.
But it's all our outrage has to come about.
That.
We have to attack it all. We have to attack it all on all fronts.
Oh no, I get that. I'm just saying I don't want to get way too political in this. I'm just saying that if I had a choice of dudes going into women's prisons and then dudes going into women's sports, easily I'm going toward the dudes going into women's sports. That I'm going to object way more than the fucking prison system.
I get it.
So
it's all wrong.
It's bullshit.
But I get, you know, and all three of us have daughters.
Yes.
It's not, this is not a freaking,
even if
a hard
I didn't,
question.
it didn't matter.
This is not even a hard question. This is a freaking easy answer. It's like all three of us are, you know what? Get the men out of women's sports, period.
That's it.
There's no freaking, you know what? I don't care if you call yourself a woman. If you are a biological man, you have no business being in women's sports.
Nope. And you know what?
Start your own league.
And here's the thing.
The league of homosexual weird fuckers.
Here's the deal. Okay, you know what? If a dude wants to be a trans, okay, fine. I really don't give two shits what you do with your life. That's your life, man. I mean, you have your God, what do I want to say, man? I mean, your choice, I guess, on that. If you want to be a dude or you want to be a chick and stuff like that, it's just not gonna. Being a guy in sports is not, or women's sports, is not cool. And anybody that out there that has anything, any thing to say about it, I'm pissed off right now. I can't even say
common sense.
No, not even common sense. If they have an objection to it, to what we're saying and what I'm saying, because I'm so pissed off about the whole thing that it came to this in the first place, then tell me,
right?
You know, because I'm on the side of the girls and the women on this shit, because it's flat bullshit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. Because
argue the point. Come on and argue the point.
No. I understand your frustration. You need to articulate it, and you need to even go further. I'm sorry. Sports, men and women's sports is one thing. I don't want them in our bathrooms. I don't want them in my 13-year-old daughter's bathroom.
No,
I don't want
that.
a man.
I get that.
I don't want anything with a penis
in the women's bathroom.
In a women's bathroom.
No, I get that. And
locker room.
Can you believe that they allowed this to happen? Little girls were being assaulted in the bathroom. It's beyond sports. I know. I'm glad that you're frustrated about sports, but I think it goes beyond sports.
No, I get that.
It goes to women's bathrooms. It goes to women's prisons.
It does.
It goes to this.
But this is not.
You are never another gender than the one you were born with.
I had a feeling that it might go this way, just the political way,
because we're all the same.
I know, but and then we all agree with all that other stuff.
We do,
but I was just like bringing it to sports and stuff like that, and I knew that it could have went astray like that, and that's fine. It did, and that's fine. I just this is
I totally understand your frustration that it took a president to make an executive order to protect
girls and
girls sports.
Yeah.
But we need to go beyond that in that there are only two genders.
Okay.
This is what happens when you open a topic that all three of us have daughters.
It doesn't even matter if we had daughters or not.
It does, though.
No,
because
not necessarily.
No, but I mean...
So if we didn't have daughters, would we not give a shit?
But we give more of a shit because we do.
Let me just, my last statement is this is a country that fixes itself. This is a country that had things happen throughout, the 250 years that we have existed. We've become better as a country. And now we are still becoming better as a country because we are getting back to the fundamental things that matter in this country. And if it takes an executive order, that's fine.
No, it isn't.
It took our president to say that there's a male and female and there are only two genders.
That doesn't have...
That's what it took.
It's not fine.
But it took... We are fixing this country every day.
He's making a point, Jeffy.
I understand.
The point's valid.
Yes.
It's going the right direction. Yeah, it sucks that we had to.
That's all I'm saying.
It sucks that we had to.
That's all I'm saying.
But at the same time, if it's going in the right direction, then you have to acknowledge that it's going in the right direction. That's the end of the story. I get your point. It's stupid that we had to come to this point. We should have never had this freaking argument. It shouldn't even be an argument. Realistically, it shouldn't be an argument. Men in men's sports, women in women's sports, end of story.
End of story.
But this is where we're at.
Yep. And we
got to take it back.
Yep. And we got to go. And we're going to wrap this up. And I really appreciate you guys. And I know it got heated. And
only because of you.
No,
you're that way.
You're
extra heated.
I'm passionate about what I said about freaking women and girls sports, man. And that's all there is to it. And we didn't get into NBA because I don't really give a fuck about NBA anyway. So
we got into it exactly as much as you wanted.
Pretty much, a little bit longer. I didn't expect it to be this long, but it's okay. Because this is what we do. I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you too. Thank you for listening. You can check us out on all your platforms and stuff like that. If you want to get a hold of me, and if not, fuck you. Out.